applaud you cutting into question time for people, so love it that you're into it, but we want to get as many questions as possible.
And please keep your questions short and succinct, so go on this side.
2 questions, but briefly worded. Why does the Washington State Investment Board, which is the financial arm of the state legislature, have over $83 billion invested in foreign corporations and the international banking cartel, rather than investing it in the people of Washington State through the Washington State Bank that has been proposed and turned down for the past 2 years and been waiting for a quote, study commission? The second question, why do we have on stage representatives of 2 corporations who have not paid their fair share in corporate taxation to fund the higher education in Washington State?
I don't know anything about the first question.
Let's go to the next question.
Don't bother answering. I don't know anything about the first question. I will say, I believe we pay our fair share of taxes in Washington State. If you actually look, for example, who pays sales taxes in the state, the people who buy goods and services and build buildings and add to the infrastructure of the state, you're looking at 2 of the largest payers of the sales tax in the state. We pay the B&O tax in the state. We certainly pay on the software we sell in the state. I think there's some people who think that we should pay B&O tax in Washington State on software that's sold in Florida and Massachusetts and other places, and we never thought that was the sensible approach. But we do pay a lot of taxes in this state, and when the state needs money to build an endowment for higher education, we step forward and contribute. Bridge needed to be built near our campus on 520. We stepped forward and we contributed. And if you look at what our employees give in terms of charitable contributions and what we match, it adds up. So I appreciate you always think about paying more. We're sensitive to these things. We do take a lot of pride in the things we do try to do.
Right. I would just add in regard to the investment board, I would assume that their assumptions are the same and have the same responsibilities that our foundations that provide scholarships for our students do. That's to maximize their return. A large portion of the dollars that the investment board is involved in is in the tempered trust funds that ensure that we're able to build and renew the buildings on campuses, both for K-12 as well as our institutions. And I think the answer simply is that they have the fiduciary responsibility to get the best return that they can for the citizens of the state of Washington.
Like that on the Boeing piece, it's like that. I feel like we are very significant payers of taxes in this state. And you think about not only the 82,000 employees in the state, but think about the fact that every Boeing job creates 3 additional jobs. Think about what our employees give in annual giving. Think about the $35 million we contribute towards education, $54 million towards continuing education for our employees, not to mention the $25 million that Brad mentioned for the Opportunity Scholarship Fund. And again, if we want to talk about what's going to return Washington State's success back on an economic path, it's education, and it's also innovation and research. And that's where our focus has been. So I respect Brad's comments there.
Yeah.
Do you have a higher ed question?
Yes, my name is George Potras. I'm a public high school English teacher. I'd like to comment first that I think that what you're saying links directly to what the first questioner asked about, and it reinforces my sense that this whole enterprise seems not to regard funding mechanisms for education in the state, pre-K-12 all the way up, as a serious crisis, really. We seem to think, it's more or less under control. I think one reason that the Thomas Friedman quote got a lot of applause is it was really the only thing that spoke to the question of where the money's going to come from them at all. Certainly the only thing that spoke to it in anything like the audacious way that's going to be required if this question is going to be addressed. But yeah, my question, more specifically, I've been listening for a long time, you all have too. Given that there's not enough money, I realize that pitting one side against the other, different constituencies and so on, is a danger. And I don't like to see the quality of our elite institutions degraded. And yet, my impression, listening to the statistics and so on tonight, my impression, listening to these questions tonight, is that the elite institutions have done a better job of keeping salary levels up than they have of keeping tuition down. And I would ask you what you would say to me and to other people who feel that, in fact, the universities are more concerned to keep salaries of professors who are getting corporate research funds and so on up than they are, and increasing.
I think they get the gist of it, and maybe somebody will take that.
I'll be happy to take that. I think that we've been very clear on our campus that the biggest threat to our ability to deliver for the state of Washington, our proudly publicly purposed institutions are committed to doing, is to lose the faculty that we depend upon. We're not able to recruit the quality faculty we need. It isn't popular to say it, but salary is a very important part of our ability to compete with a nation that is investing more in higher ed than the state of Washington is. We've got to face up to that reality.
Yes, sir.
First of all, I want to thank everyone here. You guys are remarkable people and doing really great work. My name is Robert Schoenfeld. I went to the university and also to Western. I think that Olympia is not going to come to the rescue here. And the answer is innovation and smart thinking and new ideas. There is a program called the Rising Stars Program. It's a K-16 program. It will guarantee that every student graduates from that program will have enough money for college. It will also bring out the innovation and idealism and creativity in every student. I would ask anybody on this table here if you'd be interested in, if I could introduce that program to you at another time and see where we can go to create this state to be a magnificent educational state